Hey there, how's it going? It's me, John Jack, back at it again, ready to ruin your day with another YouTube video. Well, my day's kind of already ruined. I just got a haircut recently and it's not great. No, you don't get to see it. But not everything is bad right now. Some things are actually pretty great. For instance, recently I watched a pretty interesting movie. Let me set the scene. So I'm at a party with a couple of friends. These friends, of course, being Jasmine, a gay weirdo whose this party was entirely dedicated to. What a narcissist, because she's leaving and we're all secretly very happy she's gone. We have Ava, who didn't want to get her hair wet like a prissy bitch, so I threw her in the water to teach her a lesson and baptize her to cleanse her of her sins. We have Alex, who was publicly executed, by me of course. We have Derek, who just left suddenly. We have Austin, who fell asleep before the plot even started because he took too many melatonins and fucking overdosed. And we have Alex, the other Alex. He didn't show up because I killed him in Psyche Scramblers episode 1. With our crew of emotionally handicapped individuals assembled, we decided, let's watch a movie. But what movie did we watch? Breaking Bad, the critically acclaimed television series following Walter Hartwell White as he tries to save his family from his cancer diagnosis. But quickly, he discovers that in the meth business there are fates far worse than death. Yeah, everybody fell asleep way too quickly into this, and also this isn't even what I wanted to watch. I actually suggested we watch a movie called Hardcore Henry. We were gonna watch this movie. I suggested it early on in the party, and everybody agreed, yeah, let's watch Hardcore Henry on your laptop, John Jack, your very, very cool laptop that you already downloaded the movie onto, and then they decided, no, let's watch Breaking Bad instead. Granted, Breaking Bad is infinitely better in every conceivable way because it's a considerably well... Hardcore Henry is a 2015 action film following a severely autistic man by the name of... as he goes through the daily routine of the average Slav. In this adventure, Mr. Hardcore, with the help of Stephen Hawking's army of multiversal replicants, sets forth to thwart the dastardly plans of a bisexual Sith Lord plotting to take over the world, who's also having sex with Henry's wife. All of this projected directly into the viewer's prefrontal cortex due to the film's big gimmick. Everything is shown in first person, creating a uniquely brain hemorrhage-inducing experience worth watching absolutely every second of. The film opens with a group of hooligans throwing a robot at a wall, an abomination from Marvel Studios' The Incredible Hulk calling you a pussy. We then get a short title sequence for Disney Channel Originals' How to Build a Better Boy, after which a woman named Estelle wakes up our audience stand-in Henry at a science lab, telling him that she's his wife, and giving him several biomechanical enhancements, some might even call them an upgrade. Shortly after, however, Tommy Wiseau busts in on Henry's joy session and utterly destroys Estelle's beta orbiter males with the knowledge that she has a boyfriend. Henry and Estelle then eject from the lab, which is apparently on the fucking Hindenburg, and quickly get separated. Henry then has his first taste of blood, but is subdued by low-level NPCs until a max-level pro gamer named Jimmy pulls up and takes Henry for a peaceful road trip, but is stopped by the police, killing Jimmy in the process. It's a real shame, too. Jimmy was such a cool character, it's really sad that we don't get to see more of him. Hardcore then thinks it would be a good idea to take public transportation, but is confronted by a homeless man. But as it so turns out, the homeless man is actually Jimmy, who asked Henry if he would kindly assassinate a fellow Twitch streamer. And then Henry just agrees to it without hesitating. But before we can get off the battle bus to kill Ninja, this one clip that you've definitely seen actually happens.
That has got to be the gayest jacket I've ever seen.
Красная куртка! Куда я купил?
But as it so turns out, Dr. Disrespect is already dead because he ran out of G Fuel until he gets a super chat from Estelle, who gets banned from the stream immediately for saying the N-word repeatedly. But when he turns around, Henry finds that Moist Critical is actually alive and well and challenges Mr. Core to a game of Mirror's Edge and is promptly executed. Henry, new CPU in hand, then goes to a Starbucks, which I don't feel like censoring any of this, so I'm just gonna render this part in low quality. Work smarter, not harder. He goes here to talk to Jimmy, who's become an honorary white girl just as Henry passes out immediately from a woman's touch. Henry, do you remember that time you were making out with your wife, and when she touched your thigh, you came immediately? You were so embarrassed, Henry. It was me, with my force powers, jerking you off at supersonic speed to make you think that you could come immediately from a woman's touch. Henry. Jimmy then watches this part of the video and dies from cringe, Not knowing what's wrong with him, the very unique white girls who aren't like other white girls try to stimulate Henry without his knowledge or consent while he's unconscious. But they're soon swatted away by a virgin Jimmy who installs Henry's new graphics card so he can now kill people in 4K. However, Alucard from Castlevania shows up to tell Henry exactly where his wife is, and then these two warrior ninja assassin ninja ladies show up to ride with Henry and Stoner Jimmy on motorcycles on their way to rescue Estelle from the fake taxi. One camping trip later, Jimmy, dressed in his best Swamp Thing cosplay, introduces Henry to his MTV crib and explains that he used to work for Geralt of Latvia, but was terminated after he lobotomized his entire office as a new guy prank. He then shows off his Grand Army of the Republic in a musical number. No, really, they just pause the whole revenge story and then they just start singing a song. Like, they're not even that good, and it's just like... Hello? But, as it so turns out, Henry was actually an IRL streamer this entire time and just docks Jimmy, who angrily responds until Henry does a thing, I guess. And that somehow convinces Jimmy to side with him again. Like, his footage is still streaming to ACAN. He can clearly see them planning their whole ambush thing, but I guess they just sent his goons anyway? Sure. Henry and World War I Jimmy then hold the Western Front and steal a van to blow up other vans to go to the final boss fight tower where Jimmy dies. I should be feeling sad right now, but this is the literal next shot in the movie. They didn't even cut out the green screen. The main character's like best friend just died, and this is what you see after it. Anyways, as it so turns out, everything that Henry has done has been recorded and is being implanted in all of Savant from the Suicide Squad cyborg soldiers' heads. But the videos are altered so that every time everybody said Henry, they actually said the person in the person this thing is in the head of's name. Does that make sense to you? The person in the head of whoever is this, Henry then proceeds to murder a cyborg in cold blood, steal his upgrade, become hardcore, and massacre an entire rooftop while tweaking out of his goddamn mind. It's not a drug problem, it's a drug solution. However, big sobriety shows up and knocks some sense into Henry. Literally. And then, his wife calls out to see if he's okay. But as it so turns out, Estelle was actually the bad guy's wife and not Henry's. And she was leading him on the entire time to give him this fake motivation to give to all the cyborg super soldiers who are now going to think that Estelle is their wife. Henry then sees his own reflection and gets cursed out by Emil Blonsky for the last time. And he decides to get up off of his ass and do something about it. He then proceeds to kill Sephiroth in the most beautifully insane way I've ever seen in a movie. I'm not even gonna describe it, just watch the movie. We then get what might be the single coldest scene in film history, where Henry jumps onto the helicopter Estelle is trying to run away on, and he shows her the decapitated head of Legolas from Lord of the Rings. She then, enraged, demands to know how he could do such a deplorable thing, to which he responds, she then tries to shoot him, but the bullet deflects off of his robot hand into her shoulder and she falls out, dangling off the ledge of the helicopter, holding on for dear life, asking Henry to listen to his heart. And so he does. And then the movie ends. So, I guess this leaves us with one big question at the end. Was this even a good movie? Yes, Hardcore Henry is absolutely worth watching, just like I said at the beginning. You will never find another movie like this. Matter of fact, we need more movies like this. And I don't mean first-person action movies, although that would be really cool. Imagine a Doom movie like this. I mean that as in movies that just embrace their stupidity. Movies that aren't trying to be anything serious. They're not trying to be some big, profound, cinematic masterpiece in the realm of storytelling. No, I mean, we need more movies that are just stupid. But they know they're stupid. They're not trying to be anything else. They don't try to say anything more. They're not trying to promote this huge message about the state of the world and anything. I'm not trying to make this whole emotional climax at the end of this video. It's a fucking hardcore Henry we're talking about here. A movie where this happens.
Estelle! Your boy's quite the white knight, sacrificing himself to keep you alive. Only for my dick. To kill you later.